I'm Alyssa Lightman with Realty One Group Dockside, and welcome back to The Lightman Show. Before we begin, we publish a new episode every Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Lightman Show. Alyssa Lightman here, your host with Realty One Group Dockside. And today's episode is about equity.
Good thing to have.
Yes, it is.
It is.
The more the better, they say.
So what do you guys think? How do we calculate equity? What is equity?
It's value against, lien against the home. So if you got a $100,000 home and you have a $90,000 mortgage or lien against it, you have 10% equity. So the more you have, the better it is for you. You're in a better position.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when people purchase a home, the goal is to have it eventually paid off, right? I mean, that's what the goal is. For young folks buying a home, first-time home buyers, I think the important thing first, and life changes often, but, knowing that this is the home that you can raise your family in a lot of times is more important than, you think, well, I'm buying a starter home, then I'm going to buy another home, then I'm going to buy another home. Because
usually that's what happens, though.
It is
People
usually
just
what
wanna
happens,
switch
but
and
there
get
are
something new.
folks that, have bought a home and they're in that home for some time, right? I mean, I
Some
see,
12 years, some
take a lot of
30 years.
applications, and there's, we've been in the home for 20 years, we've been in the home for, 30 years, the home's free and clear. They may have bought another home that, another second home that's being paid down. Bottom line is, the definition of equity is exactly what it is, right? It's what value you have left within your home, appraised value versus whatever the lien is.
Well, that's a good point.
Well,
Appraised value, because you run your house at 100, 5 years from now it could be worth 110, 115.
Right.
So that's added value or added equity to the property.
And by the way, we're using 100 as an example.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if we're saying like 300, right? It'd be
different
probably,
story.
but the equity is great because, I look at it sometimes as the forced savings. Yes, you do pay interest. Yes, you do have some level of write-off if you have a mortgage, right? Most people don't have the wherewithal to just go pay cash, for a house. But if you look at over time, the equity of that investment, or the value of that investment goes up, which enhances.
Yes, in a good market,
Your
of course.
mortgage is going down, your value is going up, and you're gaining more equity somewhere
So
there.
it's the difference between,
Right.
the value, the
middle.
market value of the home, and how much you owe.
And the goal is at the end of the term, or whenever you can get it paid off, you may be ready for retirement. You may have 1-2 homes that are now free and clear. Now you have options instead of debt, right?
So to find out what equity is, get a market analysis. Find out what your home's market value is, so you can see if you have any equity and if you can use it to your advantage. Some people use it for what? They can either
they could
buy
pay
another
off debt if
place
they
or
wanted
pay
to
off
refinance.
debt.
I mean, there's-
exactly.
yep.
Upgrade
College.
the home.
Upgrade the home.
If you've owned it for many years and now it needs an upgrade, that would be a good idea to,
You
for
take an equity
resale.
line out, home equity line to do improvements on the home. But it really just depends on where the market is at that time. Maybe just refinancing may make a better sense than taking cash out if you have the equity, because you might get a better rate than what you currently have now.
Right.
That's a good idea.
You may have a very low rate on your first mortgage and have plenty of equity, and taking a home equity line, may be the best thing. But just never put yourself in a tough position, financially.
Yeah.
The big challenge you see, we call it pyramiding. Basically, is folks that are constantly refinancing their home to pay off the debt that they continue to reaccumulate.
Yeah, that's
Do you have many of these? I mean,
Well, it's it's
not as it used to be.
It's out there,
Right.
It definitely is. I mean, a lot of my business is purchase business, but in the beginning of my mortgage career was a lot of refinance business, and I would see that all the time. People
Was that like right around the crash? Before? After?
No.
it was before.
Yeah, this is in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
but people are people. I mean, the average American has over
Sure.
$8,000 in debt, right? The average American has
Right.
$8,000 in revolving debt.
And you keep accumulating and
And
buying
some people
more
I
and
see
more.
have $50,000 in revolving debt, have $70,000 in revolving debt, have $20,000, and they will pay it off through a mortgage, and then they will go back to their habit again So soon you're out of equity and you have the debt again. And now you have more debt because your mortgage is higher and you've reaccumulated your revolving debt. So in the wrong hands,
It's like a
equity can be
catch-22.
very dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yes, absolutely.
But
it could be really good too.
well,
Yes.
exactly.
If
You can use
you
it to
know,
your
if you-
advantage if you're smart about it.
If you can afford to maybe do a 15-year loan instead of 30 or a 10-year, maybe ARM, something like that, you can pay it off sooner if you can afford it.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I would look more of a 15-year as far as an ARM goes. ARM is more for short-term purchases.
Yeah.
If you know because you're going to get a lower rate, and we're in a slightly inverted yield curve right now, so the ARM rates aren't so much better than what they used to be,
Right.
than a fixed. But
And sometimes 15. Everybody thinks 15-year I can pay my house off quicker
Yeah,
than a
that's what I
15-year.
thought.
Well, you could do a 30-year and do the same thing. The difference between the two is the payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can make a 15-year payment, and who knows what's going to happen in the future. If you do a 30-year, you could still make that 15-year payment and pay it down in 15 years. You just make the extra
But
principal.
would your interest rate be a
it'll
little lower?
be a
with
little bit
15
higher.
year,
But
or no?
like I
Or
have,
higher?
everything comes down to affordability.
Right.
Right. I just did a
see, okay.
15-year loan the other day on a purchase, and they got plenty of money, plenty of residual income.
Yes.
Super low debt ratio, like 11% when the high is a
good.
45, and they can highly afford a 15-year term. In fact, they really could have paid cash for the house. Then you get folks that in their mind they're thinking, I don't want a 30-year term, but I'm already sitting at a 40% debt ratio, and if you go to a 15-year term, now my debt rate, and there's zero residual income. So the mindset is, let me pay it off sooner, but it just really depends on how affordable is it. And to Steve's point is, sometimes folks, I say to them, I say, listen, there's a little difference in interest rate, so does it make sense? 100%. If you can do a 15-year, you're going to pay a lot less interest over the term. Bottom line, interest rate's a little lower, and you pay a lot less interest. But you can't handcuff yourself to a higher payment that you may not be able to make. If
I
it's
see
super
your point.
affordable, yes. If you're on the edge of affordability and you just want a 15, take the 30, prepay it when you're comfortable, and not be handcuffed to a payment that might be 60% higher than what your
Than what you
payment
can
was
afford,
on
yeah.
a 30-year term.
And it comes down to our previous episode is planning. You got to really know what your finances are and know what's coming up. If you have children that are in the high school group, you're thinking about college now. So you're going to pay for the college, the kids are going to get student loans.
That can get expensive.
Well, exactly. You're talking $15,000, $20,000 a semester in some schools if they don't get scholarships. But the bottom line is, it's all comes down to making sure that you know where you are financially to know what would be best for you.
Yeah. And where you're going to be 3, 5, 7 years from now.
Absolutely.
If you plan on staying in the home.
Covington Lake is a favorite for many residents here in Myrtle Beach. This community is located in the best school districts of Myrtle Beach, just off of Carolina Forest Boulevard, that is filled with restaurants, bars, fine dining, great activities, and entertainment. Construction in Covington Lake started around 1997. You can also find new construction here and build your own dream home. This community offers many amenities, such as a community clubhouse, pool, play area, walking trails, and much more. Covington Lake has about 370 sites. Some homes back into wooded areas, others back into water views, or an in-ground pool. 16 homes have sold in the last 12 months, ranging between $229,000 and $379,000, with an average days on market of 143 days. There are only 8 homes available for sale, just waiting for your personal touch. Click on the description below to see what's available now.
Now go ahead and give us a like, comment below with any questions you may have, and share with your friends and family. Alyssa Lightman here, your host, and you can find me on social media. I want to thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.